Hey everybody, how's it going? This is our first ever live stream where we're going to be focusing on music from a record label. And I don't remember who suggested this, but thank you to whoever you were. Maybe it was multiple people who put the idea in my head. So I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be really cool, kind of to hear what a record label, you know, the collective sound of a record label essentially, right? Because we're going to hit a bunch of artists. So we're going to do the same format as we have been doing, which is the first 30 minutes or so are going to be for the general chat requests. So put your request in the chat right now. Artist name and song title, please. And then we'll switch to super chats only. And hopefully we can get to everybody's, but it's not a guarantee if you do a super chat or any request. You know, so. Okie dokie. Let's see. Clores, I suppose one question, Ixie, is are AFX, Aphex Twin, and Polygon Window considered one artist? They're all RDJ and all on Warp. I don't know. Let's treat them as separate artists. If there's a reason that he wanted to do them on under separate projects, then there must be something different about it, right? So I think it's okay. Okay. Polygon window by Polygon window. Okay. Is that your request? I think it is. Okay. Oh, it's muted. Hang on. Ooh, different pitched hi-hats. Sizzles. This feels very, I'm gonna say 90s. That's fun. Was I right about it being in the 90s? Was it 90s? It's very I've never heard that before, but it still feels very almost nostalgic. There's a lot of similar, like, I don't know, stuff that I was trying to do in Reason in like the year 2000 or 2001. That lead with the delay on it felt so familiar. Really that early? Wow. Quite ahead of his time, and or maybe I was just behind. And it's got that very sizzly 1993. Wow. Very sizzly electro hi-hat. I don't know what else to call it, but it sounds exactly like that. And you could hear him controlling, though, how open the sound was, how open the hi-hat was near the end. He opened it up a bit, meaning the notes got longer. You know, till it filled up the entire. There you go, Milo. The entire beat. Yeah, it was a pretty like unconventional line. You know, actually the two lines, because there was the one with the delay on it, and then there. Milo's chasing a bug, so cute. And then more of a like that one. But yeah, that's weird. If you're wondering what scale that is, I don't know. I don't know. Dorian Flat 2 is possibly the closest thing. The only song I found that uses that scale is a Nine Inch Nails song. I'm trying to remember which one it was. Maybe Discipline? Or whatever. Anyway, yeah, pretty interesting. Cool. Who needs scales? Exactly. I mean, you don't. It's just one way of organizing our sounds. It's like a color palette, sort of. Okay, we had a request for Autechre VLetrmx. I'm not sure how to do that. YouTube recommending me my own live stream. I have heard Squarepusher. He's awesome. beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead and fade it out just for time. Or maybe I'm not. I just heard like a rhythm. Gorgeous ambient piece of music, and it almost sounds like it didn't sound exactly like just a pad, like they're just playing these like long notes. It does sound like there's something rhythmic in the lines that is just maybe has a lot of reverb or something on it. Or maybe it's just multiple layers and one's really pad like and the other is more rhythmic, but yeah, it's like almost like the little notes doing the rhythm are all bleeding together. The picture has gotten blurred, but I can teach you how to play it. Just load up any pad. GarageBand's free on Macs. Reaper is cheap/free, right? I think I can't remember. It's a trial. On PCs, load up a pad and play this. A slow A, go up 2 octaves to this A. Then go to one note to B on the right hand and go down to F on the left. Then go up 1 note to C on the right hand and down to D on the left. Then you're gonna hit the C again, but on the left hand you go up to E. Now you're gonna just slowly move your fingers towards each other so they both go 1 note over this direction. Then you hit C on the left to go up to C, and you hit the G on the right, and then they both move down 1 note together. That's it. It's going to sound really different on piano because piano has such a strong attack and it doesn't sustain very well. People often come to me with like wanting help developing their ideas, and the truth is sometimes the idea is not what needs to be, or like the melody doesn't need to be what's developed. It's just the flow of the energy. I know it sounds really woo-woo, but it's like, notice how the forward motion of this was achieved with not changing any notes, but by changing timbre, right? There's filters that are filtering out high frequencies, and so it starts all like underwater, and then it slowly opens up and gets brighter and louder, and then it closes back up, and there's other things that are modulating a little bit, but it's all textural, and it still feels so engaging, doesn't it? It's really lovely. The flow is definitely the hard part. Yeah, I mean, I think the flow, you have to really zoom out, but I do think that one thing that could help with flow is performing on an instrument. It doesn't have to be necessarily in front of somebody, though it could be, but it is sort of a more intuitive thing, intuitive skill to develop. And when you play an instrument, it's almost, I don't know, to me it feels like there's often like a ebb and flow while you play with your dynamics and maybe with your tempo, and those things I think all train you to kind of ride the waves and like get a sense of when to keep pushing and when to like pull back, you know. So maybe you already play an instrument, but if not, that might be something that could help you. It's just more hands-on stuff. Because in a DAW, it's hard, you know. Oh, and also I would sometimes mess around with the flow in my projects in DAWs by automating stuff in real time, so that you can, again, you're sort of performing it and you record your performance of it, essentially. That really helps too. Okay, anyway, next we're gonna do we got two that are like similar. It's like one is broadcast and the other is maybe a collaboration of broadcast with the focus group. So I kind of feel like maybe I should just choose one. Maybe I'll put this in a poll. Let's see. Pendulum. Meanwhile, we'll listen to Grizzly Bear while you wait for the others. Oh, right. It's muted.
While you wait for the others to make it all worthwhile, all your useless pretensions are weighing on my time. You could beg for forgiveness as long as you like, or just wait out the evening. You'll only bleed me dry. Yes, you'll only bleed me dry. So I'll ask you kindly to make your way in what was left.
Nice this part.
The perfect cleft. We all fall through. While you wait on the answers that I'll pretend to find, keeping up with the motions still occupies our time. You could hope for some substance as long as you like, or just wait out the evening. You'll always ask me why. Yes, you'll only bleed me dry. So I'll ask you kindly to make your way in what was left.
Nice. I can't tell if I've heard this before, or if I've just heard another Grizzly Bear track that reminds me of this one. This one is, it feels almost like Beatles-esque, but also the singer in this one, I don't know if I felt that way about the other ones. It's like, I don't know, but this one, the singer reminds me of Jack Bruce from Cream. Amazing vocalist. And guitarist, but yeah. Very strong Beatles feeling on this one. The harmonies, the production felt very 60s UK rock, whatever, that British invasion, you know, maybe not right when they came out, but like a little later as they started to refine their set. In their long 6-year career, I still can't believe that they did everything. Like, they did everything. All their albums, all their touring, The Yellow Submarine, Help, you know, those movies, in 6 years. So, like, beyond productive. Anyway. But yeah, and also, the other thing I really liked about this song is how in the chorus, you know, there's sort of, it's not exactly a call and response, but you have the vocal with the lyric. I can't remember what he's saying. We all fall down, maybe, or we all something. And then you get the O's in 3-part harmony. So it goes, you know, da 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 da, and the drums wait, and the woes wait until beat 2. So there's this really strong accent on the second beat, not the first. And we're used to hearing the accent on the first beat. So it's just a really cool feeling every time. Da, 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 da. And there's this suspension feeling. Da, 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 every time. Really cool. And they played with that even more. I think it was near the end. They kind of took that feeling and they almost created a moment of rhythmic displacement of putting the emphasis like even further back, or like they did it again. I don't know. It was very cool. It's lovely. Yeah. I'm trying to think. I think the song of theirs I'm most familiar with is called Ready and Able, or Ready Able. I think that chorus is like crazy. Oh. Do this, you want something that I did. I did something I want you to know. I did. I think that's how it goes. I don't know if that was when they were on Warp or not, but that's... I have to find out the lyrics. I'm going to go crazy. They go, we go. I want you to know what I did. I did. Oh my God. It's so crazy beautiful. I think it's all the minor chords of the minor scale, and it's all right. Okay. Next we're going to do battles next. I've heard some battles, and it was amazing. We're going to listen to Leyendecker. so cool. Sorry, YouTube keeps recommending my own videos to me, and it's so weird. Like, stop it. So I know the drummer for Battles is like amazing, so it's hard for me to tell if that was they sampled his drums and then programmed them out, or if he's just so perfect at playing, because it really could be. But it had this certain consistency to it that felt almost like a little inhuman, but it could be him. He's really talented. But I don't know, I think there's some like distortion on those drums. They're crunchy. They sound really good. A cool beat too, because it's got that syncopated hit, that ka ka ka. The last half of the bar is nice and typical, but that ka ka is really great. It seems like it'd be a really fun drum beat to play, actually. A lot of space in it, and then those really quick toms, and then the bass part also felt like that to me. I was like, I could just see someone just playing it, but I could also see them being like, let's sample it and program it. There were some guitar parts that I think were made completely out of like just one little like strum, like, and then they just program them. And so that gave it kind of an interesting feel. And then, of course, the vocals were just so interesting. It's probably just one syllable sampled from something. Maybe it was them. I don't know. And pitched around. But there was a lot in here. Like, the drums are so solid, but there's a lot in here that felt like it was very percussive and exact, but moving in a rhythmically more fluid way. Like, maybe not quite on the grid the way you'd expect, which is just fun. But precise in every other way, you know? Yeah, it's awesome. Super cool. All right, we have one more request from the general chat, which is you voted Pendulum by Broadcast, and then we'll switch to the super chat. So if you made a request in the general chat that I couldn't get to and you have the funds, you're more than welcome to put it in a super chat. Okay. All right. Bass is doing a polyrhythm. Spring reverb? That makes sense. You can literally hear the... Huh. That's a cool sound. Reminds me of Radiohead somehow. Whoa, okay. There's some retro going on. Felt Beatles-esque when we listened to Grizzly Bears. This feels also kind of... Is it 60s? Maybe it's late 60s, early 70s. It's kind of psychedelic. I can kind of imagine, you know, background dancers when they'd be like on TV shows. They'd be doing like this. What was it? This with the head nod, and they do this kind of crap. Not necessarily to that song, but you know, just that feeling. And it's, you know, the reverb added to it, the processing, the recording and processing of all the sounds, including her voice, the way they process her voice, and then the way she's singing. It's just so retro. Like if you play this for me and said, oh yeah, this was released in 1967, I'd be like, yeah, totally. I mean, there's a little bit of sampling, maybe a little bit of, but it doesn't, to me, it sounds like something you could have done a long time ago. I don't know. It's just cool. It's very cool. She's such a beautiful voice. I'm sorry to hear she's passed so prematurely. Man, very cool. All right. Okay, time for the super chats. Okay, I do not do the super chats in order. I just go with whatever sounds good or interesting. If I don't know anything about any of this, then I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm following to make my decisions. Okay. Let's do... Yeah, let's do the Squarepusher. Let's go for it. My red hot car. We just listened to a song on Sunday that was about, well, at least it had a lyric about my red car, right? Or who's that lovely lady? It was kind of folky. Can't remember her name now. Okay. He's got a song on here called My Fucking Sound. Glitchy. It's a little bit dub. It's a little bit. Breaks. Oh, there's the amen break. Morphing. Nice. That's so it's so glitchy. It's like I had a flat 6. Yeah, it just got glitchier and glitchier and glitchier. But it had some dub stuff going on. But yeah, it was just like so many switch ups and very enjoyable. Very intricate. Intricate. So many parts. Similar feeling to when I listened to Mr. Bell. It's just like, how do they put this together? You know, which is fun. It's like one of those things where I almost don't want to know. Cool. I liked it. My squares were pushed. Okay, next up is Jimi Tenor. Nobody's perfect. Tenor play a tenor sax.
Nobody's perfect, man. I know that nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, I know that nobody is. Nobody's perfect, man. I know that nobody's perfect. Yeah.
Plays everything.
I guess that nobody is, right?
Ooh, we got a clap going.
Ooh. Right on, right on, right on.
slowly going down. That was just so much fun to listen to. So groovy. So many playful little things, you know, just like it seems like I could imagine now. You guys said Jimi plays everything. Does that mean he's playing all these instruments? Either way, if it's just a room full of Jimmys or a band, you could just imagine they're having so much fun, you know, like it's just like it just feels like everyone's smiling and just so into it. And it's silly too. I mean, they're like, nobody's perfect. You know, I'm pretty sure he's putting on sort of a character, and it's just good. But obviously a lot of talent, you know, a lot of talent funneled into something so playful. Kind of how I feel about Frank Zappa, you know. Very lots of crunchy chords, I'll tell you that. I couldn't exactly identify all of them, but it was in the jazz harmony territory for sure. Fun little vamp. He's a composer and band leader too. Cool. Okay. Great request. Thank you. And off to work with you. I'm sorry you have to work. I'm sorry we'll have to work. Okay. Let's do Chlors. Savath and Savalas. Or Savalas. Te quiero, pero por otro lado. I want you, but for another time. No, I didn't get that right. Okay. Folksy Spanish honey being poured in my ears and someone playing a guitar with knitting needles, maybe? Sure. I like you. I didn't mean to say love. I like you. I like it. No, te. I like you, but for another time. Okay, I don't know. How close did I get? Oh, it is I love you? It's been a while since I've actually tried to speak Spanish or whatever. Understand it even. I love you, but on the other hand. Oh. Otro lado. Oh. What's another time? What's that word? What was I thinking of? Okay, sorry. Okay, here I go. Also kind of 60s. Okay, I say Jimi.
Give
didn't want it to be over at all. That's so good. So beautiful. Okay. I love a good track that has like a modern spin on something, but it has a double bass. Boom. Doing the... I did that on one of my tracks. That sounds so good. And this super slow beat, it was magical. It was tasty. And then they're singing some polyrhythm. What a great flow. Dun, 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 or something. I forget how it ended. Eventually, it came to a rest, but it just had this perpetual feeling of movement. And there was beautiful harmonies. Gorgeous. Just the textures were just so pretty, and lots of flat 6 chords. Loved it. Man. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of these artists at all. I'm so glad other people enjoyed it too. That's awesome. Love it. But on the other hand, just kidding. Nope, I just love it. Okay, next up is Negative Vibes Request, Oakmoss by Bibio. It's a modern folk song. Yes, bring it on. Modern folk. That's gonna be a live stream at some point. It's modern folk. Folk, yeah, is what I'm gonna call it. Okay. His sound at all. this might be the third or fourth Bibio track I've heard, and they all sound so different. And the first one I heard was a purely ambient thing that just it was just the same chords over and over again for 8 beautiful minutes. And so I just assumed that, and then I found out he sings and plays instruments, and now we listen to this, and yeah, wow, I gotta listen to more Bibio. Damn. Absolutely gorgeous. This one also had a polyrhythm in the vocal. Da, 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 da. That one. Felt very Dorian. But I can't. That one almost felt like it was lost harmonically in a beautiful place. Like a place you would never want to leave. You know, you're just sort of floating, and all your sense of time is just in the moment. Like, probably the best feeling ever. Just exquisite, gorgeous. And so I'm guessing he's playing all those instruments. What a talented fella. Super pretty. Yeah. Gorgeous. All right. Next is Seefeel, Spangle. chime. Bass is gonna come back. There it is. So I've never heard Seefeel before, I will say. So I, don't know what their style is, but that felt like a beautiful, sparkly, golden chime or something. It was just so and it was really, really nice. It was just really, it just felt good. Felt good to listen to it. And I really loved the melodic components. I don't know what they were. They sounded like synths, but then they also kind of sounded like flutes. But they had a lot of bend to them. And whenever I hear I've heard this sound before, whether it's synth generated or flute, but it reminds me of birds. I'm not really sure why. I can't really say there's a bird that sounds like that, but it just something, I don't know. And yeah, the bass was very intentionally used so sparsely every so often. It's very sub bass. So if you were listening on a phone, or you probably couldn't hear it, right? It just would come in on it depends on how quick you were counting it, either on beat 2 or beat 3, but it came in about halfway through the bar kind of feeling, and it would just go really, really low. And it completed everything for that moment, and then the rest of it felt like it was just all floating together, in the sky, tumbling around. It was very, after the Bibio track, I'm just I'm in some sort of fantasy world right now in my head. After this one as well, very pretty. Okay. Next is... Oh, we got to do Plaid. Molly, we got to do Plaid. Sam Lac Run. I like Plaid. I like them a lot. I feel like all these groups are in touch with nature. Wow. Wow. I've never heard that. That was so good. It did remind me just, which I'm actually super happy about. It reminded me just slightly of the kind of the riff or whatever that's in Do Matter, which I love. And so it's like, it's just this thing they do, and they're doing it here too. And I so love it. And then they set up an expectation, and they just were like, nope, clap. Like, I mean, the last thing I expected was some big, expansive slap in the face like that. And then this sick beat and, you know, all this kind of whining, like, so interesting. What a ride. I would listen to that again and again. That is so cool. And yeah, it had the roads, and then they would pass around sort of the theme between like the roads and some sort of almost glockenspiel like sounding sample, and then a bunch of, brass or woodwinds. But, you know, by the way, woodwinds aren't always wood. Ugh. Like reed instruments. They should just call them reed instruments. But anyway, like saxophone is a woodwind. Because I guess that the reed is wood, but, you know, you don't think of, anyway. But yeah, a bunch of that kind of sound. And I don't know if it was just samples. They did a really good job with it. It sounded like it actually could have possibly been played by real instruments. But you have to think sometimes about the practicality of these things. I'm like, how likely is it that they hired like a bunch of people to play, or maybe they just like did layering of like one person playing a bunch of saxophone. I don't know. Anyway, maybe you guys know how it was made, but that was fantastic. I'm a huge fan. Minor scale amazingness. 0.5% woodwind. Yeah. Is that baby crying? I live on a big street. There's like a big old sidewalk, a big old bike lane, so there's lots of people. Okay. Awesome. Such a good request. Thank you, Molly. Let's do Astral Veil's request. Oneohtrix Point Never, Chrome Country. I only know this artist through, they did one Nine Inch Nails remix for Hesitation Marks. I remember that. Delicious. Now that's how you mix a synth. Doesn't that sound incredible? Wide, full, expansive. Program piano. I did a lot of that when I was like 15. With the delay. I think it's a flat. Wait. I'm doing it wrong. That's well. Da, 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 da. I was not, in fact, doing it wrong. One from memory. I forget what this is called. Where you go da 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 da. Right, that pattern. Same note at the top, and then move stepwise down otherwise. Da, 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 da. That's a very classical thing to do, isn't it? Whatever that. I don't know what names of anything or who wrote what. It's also an organ, isn't it? It must feel really natural to do on an organ. Well, that was just so cool. Like, I don't think I've ever heard anything quite like this. These big old fat, kind of almost like modern sounding synths. That like swell in and they kind of release lots of silence. And the program piano was very like 2001 or, you know, maybe, no, probably 90s. Let's just say, I actually think it was more like 90s techno kind of thing, trance thing. Really interesting vocal sample, like, but it sounded better than when, like, you know, you'd have one of those little keyboards. I don't know if you all had one of these keyboards. I did when I was a kid, where it had a sample of a voice going like, oh. And then you like play it around your keyboard, it's like, which never sounded good at all. But it did something kind of like that. It sounded interesting, and then the organ, yeah, it's just really cool instrumentation. No drums. There's like one little literal drum hit. It was like, cool, and I was like, okay, now a drum beat's gonna come in. He's like, no, fooled you. But very beautiful, felt very holy, maybe not holy, reverent. That's the word I'm looking for. Just really like, I could see how this could feel very very meaningful to people who heard it just the right time. See? Yeah. There's the ha ha ha, the angel awe. I had that one, of course. Cool. Very cool. Okay, we've got so many requests. All right. Let's do Bilal, Norte route. Okay, member of Plaid. Oh, nice. Okay, well. Oh my god, I can't find it. Okay, well, I'll put something else and then I'll look for it again. Let's do... Oh my god, me Morp, you requested Grizzly Bear Ready Able. Did you hear me talking about the course for that one? One of the best courses ever. Okay, Stereolab. Flashes from everywhere. party. That one definitely also, I mean, Stereolab always has that a bit of, what is it, 60s-ish kind of throwback sound. But lots of this kind of harmony. Was that a 9th chord? And they did a lot of this kind of thing, like. Really bright, kind of warm harmony, and then that kind of retro 60s, like almost Motown kind of beat, like the snares on the beats, and but yeah, it's lovely. It's gorgeous. The flutes were so beautiful. We were talking about flutes. Talking about how flutes. I think. Let's see. I want to know. Okay. Woodwinds are yeah, the flute, which doesn't have a reed or made of wood. So I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it used to be made of wood. I don't know why it would be called a woodwind. Oboe, clarinet, bassoon, saxophone, and recorder. Yeah. Anyway, beautiful. The flute label. Yeah, a lot of flutes. Flutes are cool. Okay, awesome. All right. Yes, Pax. Next, let's do Squid, the cleaner. I don't know if I've heard of Squid. And then we'll do the Balil track. I won't play all of this. It's a long one. If you see a faded sign at the side of the road. Sorry. Love shack. Wow. Hey, this one's also got a big accent on beat too. I mean, there is a cowbell. Tritone. It's kind of David Bowie-ish.
I'm the cleaner, all the lights are off when I arrive. I'm the cleaner, but you don't even know my name. Who are these people I don't even know? A face that's high with a face that's hello. I'm the cleaner, but you don't even know my name. I'm the cleaner, but you don't even know my name. We're so tired and we are so done. I fall asleep to the sound of a gun. I got a new diet, I'm ahead of the trends. I read the features and in between the lines. 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 They make me do it all, and so I clean that shop. I'm the cleaner who gets home, whose body drops down on the floors. You find it there with a brush and mop. I dance with DVDs and books, dancing to rock and pop. I'm a cleaner, yes, and I can sweep that shop. And we will love and we will labor in this modern job. And you'll
That's
find me
six.
standing there with a brush and mop. I dance with DVDs and books. Team leader, team
Oh, maybe
player,
it's
I'm
more
the
like a-
cleaner.
No, it's more like, never mind. It's not about six.
Team leader, team player, I'm the cleaner.
Dramatic median thing.
Kona says I got a room out of back. Corrosive liquid
but you don't even know my name. I'm the cleaner, but you don't even know my name.
They make me do it all, and so I clean that shop. I'm the cleaner who gets home, whose body drops down on the floor as you find it there with a brush and mop. I dance with DVDs and books, dancing to rock and pop. I'm a cleaner, yes, and I can sweep that shop. I'm real love and real labor in this modern job. And you find it standing there with a brush and mop. I dance with DVDs and books. Keep me extra time, keep it working extra hours so I can dance for you. I'm in my favorite shoes, I'm in that sequin blouse and I'll dance. Keep it extra time and keep it working extra hours so I can dance for you. I'm in my favorite shoes and in that sequin blouse and I'll dance.
So I can dance. So I can dance. So I can.
This is fun. I don't want to fade it out, but I want to get to some more songs. But that's a cool song. Yeah, it's definitely got a different vibe than it was more of the more like there's a lot of playful stuff though on this roster today, and but that one's kind of that sort of like just a little bit disco, but I really like the chords, and I really like how it's going like sorry. All right. I like how they kept this note in there. That sounds so good because it means something different to each chord. And this is called a chromatic median. It's two major chords that are related in a way that forces chromaticism to happen. And they're not in the same key. It sounds really good. Sorry, I'll stop doing that. But yeah, that's very well produced track. Maybe not something I would always listen to, but super fun when I'm in the mood or like at a party or, it's like it makes you feel like you want to dance, but also makes you think. And it's, because it's got a lot going on. It's not like it's not simple, it's a lot of talent behind it for sure. It's fun. Okay. All right. Next, let's do LFO, Blown. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Next is Balil, Norte Route. And then we'll do the... Oh, right. It's muted again. Wish it would not remember that I muted the last one or faded it out. And then we'll do LFO after this. Already cool. nice. That was sick. Super cool. Like, it was a 4 on the floor drum groove, but lots of syncopated percussion to go off of the beats, you know? So, so satisfying and interesting. And even just the samples themselves, they felt a little bit more like world instruments or something. And then really liked also the main leads. Kind of sounded like very like maybe square wave. I love square wavy things. And but with that but it was designed such that, you know, you attack, was this called the envelope or whatever? Like attack it and then it does a blip, like a minor third up or something. It felt like each time he moved it around, it did that, you know? But maybe it was played. Maybe he just played it like that and had like a portamento thing. But I don't know. It was very cool. Super interesting. I would listen to that again and again. Very cool. Next is Blown by LFO. And it's muted. Why do you do this, YouTube? Okay. Perfect split for the Clark pole. Interesting. It sounds like, you know, a sample. They're running through that little section of a sample over and over again. What's that called? It's a sampler, I guess. No, it's... but I feel like it's more like take really, really short samples and then you make like a synth out of it. I think this is more just like sampling, right? I don't know. Hey, there's that sizzly hi-hat again. I gotta find out what drum machine that comes from. It's super fun. So I can reference it without just saying, there's that sizzly hi-hat again. Cool. I'm gonna fade it. Sorry. That's super cool. Yeah, like this is a very interesting textures and layers in a lot of these songs. They're not particularly bassy, you know? Like they have low frequencies, but there's not a lot of the electronic stuff, I guess, is much more floaty. It's interesting. Definitely would not put any of this in the bass music category, which is like a huge umbrella. Hi, baby. Huge umbrella of electronic music. Okay, so we couldn't decide on Clark, huh? Well then, we'll listen to Danny Brown, When It Rain, while I queue up half of one Clark and half of the other song.
Have you ever been stiffed at work?
Well, I've never been stiffed at work.
What a back, go dangerous, on that cat, go tracks man, hit it from the back. Cat? He's ass up, bitch, let me bang. Bruce every day, we run that train. Put that thing in her combos. Only way you hang is where I knows. Beef where I say ain't no tropes. Y'all niggas lame, y'all ain't like us. Hang up with a double off, ain't your dust. For that money, ain't that we trust. All for people for greed and lust. When you put the trust, when guns gon' bust. Living every day like it's the end. Just waking up, feeling like a sin. Gotta keep an eye on all your friends. Cause everybody hungry and no streets. Nigga rap your grandma for something I ate. No, it's fucked up, that's how I be. Growing up, living every day in a day. And it don't seem like shit gon' change. No time soon in the city of boom. Don't for the time we emerge from the room. So that coach, just we cut sound. Here we go, now here we go. Ain't no water, how flower gon' grow. Ain't no change, then how we gon' change? No umbrella, we stuck in the rain. Dark light taking all over our head. No sunshine and them shots be lit. Like no squares and them dots be red. Let your best friend dead shot in the head. Dick. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. Bad luck when you hear them gunshots go off. Pop off and those shots go off. Knock off, you try to play me soft. Glock side on your face, dog. No baseball, better run home. Hit till I'm blood on your tongue. Exorcist, show head gets spun. Exodus, I might forget big when it's time for your West be do. You ain't heard it like this before. They don't do it like this no more. They get on that, they get on that, they get on that, pop on the flop. You ain't heard it like this before. They don't do it like this no more. They get on that, they get on that, they get on that, pop on the flop. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Turn with a percolator, murder music orchestrator, point blank holotype circulator. Yo ass like if you own respirator. I'm like Bangabella with that blade. Kid don't play when I catch that fade. Shoot a whole party up with them day. Shot down when we hit the DJ. That Detroit shit, you around disco. Minks and gators, pissed on the disco. Eat crawfish, up in fistball. See the road safety, watching the piss. Niggas get pissed on, no fly sound. Call I go trick when you hit my hound. Beef with him, don't hit my phone. Beat verse, everybody ain't no sound. Coming from the city, what them goes be like. Get caught slipping, yo ass be hurt. That's for certain, yo ass be cursed. Young niggas out there putting that work. I don't use Squid for a terror joint. Whole damn city probably got a couple warrants. When they come to jail, always stay chronic. Yo, give a fuck, they just go pop. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. Better duck when you hear them gunshots go off. Pop off when those shots go off. Knock off, you try to play me soft. Glock sign on your face, dog. No baseball, better run home. Better run home. They don't do it like this no more. They get on that, they get on that, they get on that, pop on the flop. You ain't heard it like this before. They don't do it like this no more. They get on that, they get on that, they get on that, pop on the flop. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now. Oh, you ain't know that. When it rain, when it pour, get your ass on the floor now.
Ooh. Sometimes I love the endings of songs because they strip things away and you can hear all the stuff that was like underneath everything the whole time. That was pretty dope. I like that. It kind of had, I don't know what this rhythm is called, but it's like it didn't actually have this, but it felt like it. Like I don't know. It's like it's pretty fast. That one was just 4 on the floor, but there's something about it that reminded me of songs that do the thing. Cool little lines and very Phrygian dark kind of bass line. That's cool. I liked it. Nice flow too. Okay. All right, so let's do the first half of Herr Bar, and then the last half of Farewell Track. Okay. Oops, it's muted, of course it is. Tuned up in here. Oh, Farewell Track switch up. Ready and so expansive. Yeah, it does feel very moving. Very, very beautiful. And yeah, I'd love to hear the other halves of those tracks at some point, but I do have to go. I'm sorry. Cool. Well, I think this was a success. I enjoyed doing this like record label. It's just cool. Different ways we can whittle things down. We can whittle things down like a little whittle baby. Cool. All right. Well, the next live stream is this Saturday. Me and my mom are going to go live, and we're going to listen to and break down something from formative years of her life. Often this means 70s music. And I don't know what it is going to be yet. It probably will be 2 to 3 different tracks. So if you're curious, if you just want to come and support me and my mom, it's from 2 to 4 Central on Saturday. And then the next day from 3 to 5 Central is 2022 song requests. So I hope to see y'all, some of y'all on the weekend, and also like live your life. But if you choose to spend your time here, it'll be really fun. And my little elves will create timestamps and also maybe list out some of the tracks that we didn't get to so that you can, go investigate if you so choose. But I thought this was such a cool sound curated by the record label. It's, there's a lot of variety, but there is something. I'm not sure what it is yet that connects them, but it's definitely not just electronic stuff. So yeah. All right, friends, until next time, thank you again so much for your great requests, your good taste, and your donations. Keeps us going. Pays for this little guy's expensive food. Yes. Okay, bye.